What is up, guys? Evanaldo here. Welcome back to the channel. Wanted to give you an update on what I've been looking at in the markets right now. Kind of a boring day for the markets. You know, Bitcoin kind of rejecting from that area. ETH coming back to kind of the double spider line, you know, right there and trying to get that bounce. So that could be a big area. We'll start with Bitcoin. I do think that you may be able to come down. It's possible as you get, the first thing to realize, this looks really, really bullish here, ETH versus Bitcoin. This should, in theory, break upward. I mean, month, 2 months, you know, hard to exactly say, but should break upward maybe even by early July into this month to this technical target right around here. And then you're really back to where you were at the end of last year. A lot of pain erased, which is huge for the ETH Bitcoin evaluation. And you know, I really think that ETH is going to be very dominant in quarter 3, and then hopefully you'll actually have your altcoin season, your real altcoin season in quarter 4. So yeah, and you know, when you look at Bitcoin, I mean, it's not too bad. You're kind of forming, you know, one of my favorite patterns in an uptrend, which is kind of a reverse head and shoulders. A little bit lower there. So obviously the obvious point everybody's probably talking about is come down to 103. You know, right there, definitely possible. Daily, I wouldn't get too bearish until this at least prints or gets close to confirming on the daily. When you look at the 4-day, you still got that. Ooh, I thought we were seeing it might be gone. Oh no, 5-day, okay. 5-day, you're seeing the green dot continuation there. So still pretty good and still, you know, good shot by end of this month or sometime in July hitting, you know, that 120K before your kind of typical summer low where you're probably, you know, come back down. So this is still the, you know, probably most, you know, common scenario. You jump up to that 120 and then you come down 15-20% for your summer lull, get everybody scared, but then you kind of form your giant, you know, reverse head and shoulder situation. And then, you know, I mean, you get to your technical target 130 if you want to be more lenient, really lenient with this. I mean, you could be, you know, that's where you get up to around your 150, 160 by the end of the year, which is what I've been, you know, hoping for. So as we get into some of the lower time frames here, I mean, how would you, if you want to trade this right now, how would you try to trade this? I mean, I think something like this is a good shot of, you know, kind of playing out if you were to do a stop loss, kind of a lenient stop loss I would do, and trying to jump up to 116, you know, you could get a 2-to-1 up to 120. Could take time to play out. Just keep that in mind. But something like that for the swing trade probably would work. Or waiting for, I think not the 3 hour, but some of these trigger waves. I would probably actually be looking more at the bull divs forming, trigger waves forming on some of these lower time frames, especially if you can hit off of 104 or something. Yeah, I would stick with logarithmic spiral lines right there. I think I have this, the chart with the spiral lines. If you guys are interested in getting the chart with the spiral lines, I mean, you could draw it yourself. It's not very difficult to do, but I do have it in the Discord as well. If you join the Discord, the link is down below. We've had a lot of good trades in there. We got Nightshade in there. We got KMAC in there. A lot of really good analysis. And if you guys want one free month in the Discord where I post all these trades, you know, in advance with stop losses, entry points, take profits. You could, if you sign up to any of the exchanges down below, deposit at least $100, BYDFI or BloFin, you get a nice bonus. In addition, make sure you open a support ticket in the Discord with your UID or your email you signed up with. We'll get you sorted for that free month. So I think it's a good opportunity there if you guys are interested in trading or at least learning more about this all. So yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's Bitcoin right now. Be a little bit careful, but I think you're going to jump from one of these areas. I kind of don't think you're going to crash all the way down to 96, at least not yet. That's probably a next month summer lull type thing in all likelihood. Ethereum looking really good on your larger time frames. That 4-day, you know, should at least bring you up to 3,000 to 3,200 by the end of this month. There's also that speculation we'll talk about in a second, that S-bet speculation. Some smart people have been really talking about that. It's kind of people trying to they're trying to do kind of what Michael Saylor did with Bitcoin with Ethereum kind of. So that could work out. Keep in mind the sequel is always worse than the original generally. But trigger wave right here, your monthly is about to give you that trigger wave. You're already seeing it on the, you know, on regular candles. So kind of a no-brainer on Ethereum right now. I think it'll be very dominant, outperform most alts for the next 3 months. And, you know, you're hitting kind of your big place, spiral end pocket. Some may call this, you know, kind of this top area, the place you want to jump off of. And I think you got a good shot of bouncing here. Just be careful, you know, if you're trying to take the the scalp trade, maybe be a little bit patient. You know, you could try it here. You could definitely try it here, but, you know, I would be lenient. I mean, 2 to 1 like that. You just gotta hope that it doesn't go to this lower ends of this spiral line. That's what you gotta hope for. But you could get more lenient, 1.5 reward 1.5 to 1 reward to risk ratio. So not bad. You know, not bad. And then we talked about ETH versus Bitcoin looking really good. A few other, you know, Solana hitting a big point. So stuff is hitting big points. You definitely could see your jump here. Definitely could see your jump here and then continuing forward. I think I'm still in one of the Solana longs. I mean, been depressing on alts. I think for going long, I mean, it's going to be ETH. You know, longing ETH for the next 3 months. I think it's going to be, you know, one of those coins that you could probably do very well trying to trade going long, looking for long steps for, you know, probably until Q4, probably even into the end of the year. But that jump there could be some potential here on this dip. I don't think you would go under 140, but who knows? Maybe you'll go all the way to 136. I mean, Cardano, similar thing, trigger wave. So, I mean, the market still looks good. You know, you're going to have little dropbacks and hesitations, you know, all the way into probably the end of this month. But I think you're going to you'll eventually, you know, get those jump words upward. ETH dominance, you know, a little rejection off of this big point here, but I think it generally should continue forward. Bitcoin dominance, hard to say with this, but I would be a little bit more on the bear side, especially with ETH, you know, showing strength, maybe some sideways for a few months, and then sideways bearish for a few months on your Q4. So, you know, maybe a little bit downward, and then Q4 you get kind of your big drop downward or something like that. I don't know. It could extend into 2026, but you know, keep in mind this. Damn, you're like, just look at these. I mean, they go so quickly. You know what I mean? Your altcoin season could be a few months, or even 3 or 4 weeks in Q4. That goes down, then you're kind of done. So keep that in mind. A few others I like right now, Chainlink, not doing too much, but holding these areas, you know, kind of that reverse head and shoulders forming here, or something along those lines. You know, it would be that similar trade setup to Solana. And this is the one people have been kind of talking about. It's dumping. I forget exactly why it's falling off of a cliff right here, but just insane what it's done. So they're trying to do, like I mentioned, they're trying to do what Saylor did with MicroStrategy, just buy a lot, doing the same thing. It's replace Bitcoin with ETH. So up 50x. Now you came down a ton. I would be very careful with this. We're going to talk about it probably. Well, I don't want to say because of this we may not talk about it, but we'll see. You know what I mean? But this area. So do your research on this. I don't think I'm going to buy this. Just I'm probably not going to buy this. Full disclaimer. I'm happy with my Ethereum, but there could be some potential there. But keep in mind, SQL is usually worse. So that's that potential. That's all I have for you guys in terms of an update right now. Probably do a live stream tomorrow or something. Hope you guys got something out of this video. If you guys are interested in trading, check out the links down below for the exchanges. There's some good promos going on. BidFi, you deposit 5K, get 500. You know, look here, deposit $100, get the $50 bonus. In addition, I'll give you that 1 free month in the Discord if you deposit $100 on either of these. BloFin's great as well. We're in where whales are made. Hopefully that'll be some of you guys. But obviously, you know, you got to know what you're doing. 10% cash back too. For both of these, only if you sign up my link down below, 10% cash back on both of these. And then here's the bonuses for BloFin. No KYC, no VPN for both of these. So really good right now. I think there's a deposit bonus as well, 8,000, you know, there. So a lot of good stuff. So check it out. Links down below if you guys are interested. And yeah, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you got something out of the video, see you guys soon. Goodbye.